Hey everybody, I thought I'd show you a hilarious video. You heard of Penn Jillette. He's a magician. He does like a magic trick act and stuff, and he has a good show when it comes to that. But then he wants to get into the philosophical realm and the realm of science, and he knows absolutely nothing about that. And here he's asked, how do we get here? How did we get here on Earth? You know, how did everything start? And watch how he evades the question. And then he actually contradicts himself. This is absolutely hilarious. Check it out.
How did you get here? How did we get here?
Well, let me ask you, how did we get here?
Now, did you see that? He doesn't he doesn't answer the question. He's like, how did we get here? He goes, well, let me ask you. This is a typical bait and switch. The atheists have no idea how we got here. Their patent phrases, they don't know. But listen to what this guy says.
I believe in this superior being, a God.
Of course.
And therefore the questions which always baffle atheists, the hard reality of life, I believe there is something greater out there. There's a greater entity, which is a spiritual being,
but what is
that allows comprehension on a scale we could never understand.
Now, you notice Penn Jillette, he doesn't answer the question. He asks the other guy, and at least the other guy has a spine of steel, and he says he does believe there is this intelligent being out there, and later on in the video he talks about how it's spiritual. But this is the part coming up that's absolutely hilarious. Check this out, where Penn Jillette totally contradicts himself here. He's trying to come off, he comes off as very arrogant, but he evades all the questions, and then he says this hilarious thing. Check it out. Okay, so here we go. This is the funny part. The guy on the left is saying, you know, atheists never have, basically what I've always been saying, they never have any proof and evidence of any of their claims, right? And so the guy on the left says, you know, I never hear atheists have an explanation of anything, right? They always just say they don't know. So listen what Jillette says, and then he contradicts himself. Watch.
Because I never hear an atheist give me any answers to how did we get here and what happens at the end of our lives.
But the answer to something, saying we can't understand it, is not an answer.
Right, so how do you think we got here?
I don't know.
So he's saying the answer, you know, that we don't understand it is not an answer, you know, and then they ask him, so then how do we get here? He goes, I don't know. Well, you know, he's basically, Penn's not an atheist. He's claiming to be an agnostic. But one of the hilarious things is atheists will try to come off as intelligent, but they're complete idiots. Because when you question them, well, what's your theory on how this happened? What's your theory on how that happened? They always will hide in their little bunny hole and they'll say they don't know. A good example of this is click below this video, and I'm going to put some other hilarious videos where, you know, atheists crash and burn. We love the atheists. We want them to be saved. But truly, Scripture is correct when it says a fool says within their heart there is no God. Scripture says that the atheists are suppressing the truth in unrighteousness. Like someone holding a basketball in the swimming pool underwater, they have to suppress it. Now, another thing before I let you go, we updated the website at shockandnow.net, and I wanted you guys to think about something. There's no group that is out there writing books against Darth Vader or Pinky the Unicorn or Santa Claus, but the atheists hate God, don't they? There's no group that wants to go on the debate circuit debating and saying that God does not exist except atheists. But there's no group saying that they want to debate the existence of pink unicorns or Santa Claus or whatever. The fact that atheists are against God and they are basically bashing God and they have this obvious hate for God is actually more evidence on the side that God exists. You don't argue against something and bash something that doesn't exist. You know, have you noticed on YouTube there's literally thousands and thousands of videos of atheists bashing God, right? But they never bash Satan. Have you noticed that? Well, Jesus said it best. Remember when Jesus was talking to the people that rejected him, and Jesus is God, Jesus said, look, was talking about the answer being crystal clear. He said, I do the will of my Father, and you guys do the will of your Father. I have no doubt that if Jesus was here in the flesh today, walking amongst us, he would talk to Penn Jillette, and he would talk to Richard Dawkins, and he would talk to these dodo birds, and he would say, look, you do the will of your Father. Who's your daddy, atheist? We know who your daddy is.